it was about as beautiful as this one. So pretty awesome. So when you're rolling, you see that there's a little dry spots here. You can use a little bit of water to moisten those up and then get them rolled out. But it's not going to make that much of a difference. So at this point we would take our template and put it on and make our markings. It's pretty evenly rolled all the way through.
So what's that, about a ½ inch thick? Or?
It's a little bit, it's about a 1/4 inch
Yeah, I was
thick.
going to say about a quarter.
You don't want to have it too thick. There's not as much baking soda in this dough, so it's not going to rise too much, and it's also not going to spread out.
Yeah.
So that's one of the advantages to this dough as well. It definitely doesn't taste as good. And you can either use a knife or an X-Acto knife if you're an X-Acto, which works out really well. You're going to mark it. And then
Sounds good to me. I need it.
cut it, and then you can save this piece for maybe ornaments or something along those lines. Just like pie dough, you don't want to re-roll too many times because you'll end up with really tough. Although we're not going to eat it, so it doesn't really matter if it's really tough.
So the whole point then of the house, such as that one over there, is just for show.
Yes,
and
not
nobody
for
breaks
eating.
it down eventually and eats it or anything.
No, and the advantage to this is you can make this house on December 1st, and it'll still be great on December 25th.
Gotcha.
Unless you have little kids around. Then the candy doesn't last as long.
Yeah, okay.
Now, I sometimes like to use a little gingerbread man as my door because I think it's quite cute.
Yeah.
And then you would save that door and bake it to the side, and then you could put it on. We have a door for our lovely house here, and we're going to put it on in a little while from when it was baked off. So this would be the point that you would cut your doors and windows as well. So you have to decide what you're going to do and then cut your doors and windows. We'll just do a simple square door. I always like to use a gingerbread man for the windows as well because I'm kind of a goofball. So have you ever made a gingerbread house at home before?
No.
Have you ever done one at home?
Kits.
For the kids?
Already.
Yeah, the kits, yeah.
Yeah, I did that years ago with the kids when they were little.
Yeah, and all, it's already baked and stuff. You just have to put it together.
Necessarily have to cut them into the shape. So I'm just going to draw an outline of the snow or the icicles as they fall down. When you're piping with a piping bag, you want to squeeze from the top, not from the bottom, and just use your fingers as a guide. One of my teachers once described it as hold it like you're holding a pencil. You're just using that bottom as a guide. And then after that stencil is drawn in, I'm just going to fill it in. We'll make the stained glass. She found that these purple ones actually left a little brown. So maybe not the purple ones, but maybe more the orange.
Brown nice with ginger.
Yeah, it does. It really does. What I've done in the past is, I don't know if you've ever seen the Silpat Mats as well. They're the like silicone mats that you can do for baking.
Oh, yeah. Yes.
Those also work for melting this kind of thing. So you crush it up with the back of a rolling pin or with a mortar and pestle, and you put it on the pan and then you bake it so it melts. 325, or did you do low?
I just did it while I was doing the gingerbread, so I just kept an eye on it. It doesn't take a huge amount of time, but once it starts to melt, it goes pretty fast. So
Yeah.
I don't know.
So I've done it the same with Brock's mints, these mints, to do roof tiles. If you have a really flat sheet pan.
So then what do? You cut those out and put them into the window?
She broke them out and then she glued them onto the back.
With regular glue or
Yep.
this paste?
With this paste,
Yeah,
paste.
okay. Yeah, you can see inside.
And then this was a tester. She tried to bake it inside of this, and I guess you can do it, but it didn't come out as well as this. This looks much nicer than this does. So it's up to you what you decide to do, but you can also bake it onto it. With the Brock's mints, you can also melt them to make roof tiles, which is pretty cool. so that you could have a different style
Right,
roof as
right.
well. So you could do a decorative roof with piping, or if you wanted to do something a little different, you could use the Brock's mints.
Never think of doing that. You know, I would never think of that.
Or any colored mint for that matter. You can really just make an M&M roof if you wanted to. I've seen some really great red M&M roofs.
I'd probably eat them all before they go into the room. Have to get a pretty big bag.
M&Ms are the best. So we're gonna put on our door.
I wouldn't put a porch on it, but
Why not?
How do you make a porch?
well, I should make columns. Well,
Well,
they got columns.
They did it with candy canes and probably gingerbread. The candy canes on the bottom are holding up.
That'll be your project, Mary. You do the porch.
And then I decorated all of the flat pieces on Friday night, I think mostly. And then yesterday was putting it all together.
So I'm just piping and filling the spots. And all these empty spots that you see gingerbread, I'll just fill with royal icing. The royal icing is really the magical stuff.
I never would.
And I'm just gonna fill it in. Whoop. Put a little more glue. Fill it in and put a little dirt on it. This is just graham cracker shavings.
Wondering,
Yeah,
what
what
the
the-
graham crackers are.
But this is actually the shavings from the gingerbread, right?
That's brown sugar.
No, it's the, you know,
Oh, shavings from the gingerbread, which is great
Okay,
for.
yep. Good idea.
Yeah.
Waste not.
waste not, want not, absolutely. And I'm
Here's the
gonna
door.
put our door on.
Your thing fell over again, that little piece of candy at the end.
One of the rocks.
And we're home.